Okay, so I'll open it up if you,
Okay.
so today's what, May seventh, I put on our, agenda May sixth, sorry about that. Today is May seventh, it's 4:03 PM. Call this, recreation meeting to order, Eric Cassidy's here, so roll call please.
Linda Johansson is here.
Yep.
Dottie Long,
Priscilla Hoover,
Karen Wrightstetter.
Karen Cox, Deb Martin.
Okay,
Okay, and first of all, we want to thank everybody that helped with the road cleanup. I understood there were 15 bags of garbage, is that right?
I think more, because I didn't account for like the people that we caught doing it a couple days ahead of time.
Uh-huh.
And then someone else on Facebook said they grabbed 6 that I don't think were part of mine,
Uh-huh,
so more than that,
Alan Lee and his
Okay.
wife did all of French Pond
Yeah.
Road
yeah.
wow.
in a few days, they did
Yeah.
a lot.
So-
But I brought 15 bags myself in
Yeah,
my truck to the dump.
nice,
Yeah,
So,
So-
over,
yeah, we could say, over 20 total,
yeah, okay.
which is
And-
great.
Okay, so if that can be put in the D-mail, a thank you.
Yeah, we'll get we talked about doing a better D-mail again, so let's focus on that. I put it on Facebook already as well with a thank you.
Okay, and there's still under pending business is getting a date for the fishing derby. And Courtney, Mike was gonna be doing that.
Yeah,
And we just know that the date is going to be in July.
yeah, I think if he wants to help out, we should coordinate with them and get the date set. I don't know if we wanna kind of preliminarily fine tune that date, like we could look at it. Real quick.
well, I would say it's up to them, who's ever gonna do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true,
We shouldn't really
Okay.
pick a day.
but we were thinking in July, right, after,
it was after people arrived and
Yeah.
after there were more people here.
so maybe we were thinking the July 4th weekend, if, because that would have the most amount of vacation family kids and
Yeah, that's
everything
true.
here, and try to get the biggest bang for our buck with the community. So we'll talk to them, and, by next month, June
Yeah.
meeting, we should have a hard date for that
Okay.
fishing derby in July.
July 5th is a Saturday and the 6th is a Sunday, but
Yep, one of those days,
Saturday morning's better than Sunday.
yeah, okay,
Or
So-
the 4th is the Friday.
yep,
Okay.
we'll eye for around then, and,
Yeah,
And the other thing that was pending was the Bouncy House Summerfest date, where we talked about doing that in August.
and we did throw around that we would, like Winterfest, we might open it up to Haverhill Rec, but I think we shouldn't for the first year.
yeah, I think,
We
yeah,
have 3 things that we do with Haverhill Rec, which is a movie night in December, Winterfest in February,
And the kayaks.
and the kayaks, evening on the lake. So we're just gonna leave it with that, because if we're only gonna get 2 bounce houses, you can't have
Yeah.
100 kids.
So who is the contact person for the bounce?
I think is Running Waters, I think, and I contacted him last year, I could do that, in Bradford. I forget the guy's name, but I have it written down somewhere.
Okay.
do we wanna hone in on the date for that as well?
Yeah. What are you thinking, Linda?
Are you thinking of
Okay.
Saturday in August?
Yeah, we were thinking of a Saturday in August, evening on the lake is the 8th. The 16th or the 23rd, some kids are back in school the following week. And I guess it would be to check with what dates they have available. And ask,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
ask for the 16th or the 23rd. Anybody else have any more?
Is that,
That sounds good.
Yeah,
that's not too late?
It
23rd?
really, we don't have to jump around in the bouncy houses. But we do serve free hot dogs that day.
Yeah.
Hot dogs and lemonade and chips, so on.
Yeah. And then there's, the the baseball field, and they played wiffle ball, and they played,
Cornhole.
cornhole, and there was a badminton thing. There were like 9 different little stations set up, and then the constant hot dogs and lemonade and stuff. It was a really good turnout last year. It wouldn't have been as good without the bouncy house, cause we'd gone for more of an adult, you know, like
Yeah.
like
Archery tag.
archery tag, which was really good, except you'd have to take a lot of instruction, and it's really for a little bit older. So you thought of the bouncy house last minute,
Yeah,
and that was the big attraction.
yeah,
You know, it really kept so many of them happy. They'd go play ball for a while, they'd come bounce, they'd go do this, yeah.
That's great.
So,
yeah.
yeah, but so it's not just like one thing, it's
So we
like,
thought we'd get one for the younger kids and then one for the older kids.
Very cool.
yes.
And then everything
Dee
else.
Dee.
Oh, you
So,
remembered us.
Hello.
This is Dee Dee.
Hi, Dee.
Hi.
Yeah, so the 2 bouncy houses are kind of geared for different ages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, okay, so,
So the 16th to the 23rd is what we're gonna eye for, we'll go contact the bounce house people,
yeah,
and find out when they're available as well.
alright, so I will call him
Okay,
when I get home.
okay.
okay. And we can, yeah,
So we're saying August 16 or.
we're 23rd.
Now, they have all different shapes and sizes of bounce houses, do we want, I could get a brochure maybe, or look online, see what
Or
it's
he'll
got.
tell you by weight, you know, for ages.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Okay, yeah, okay,
Okay, and, so those are the only things that really need to be changed on the calendar at this point, unless somebody wants to add another event.
I spoke to Pierre about the karaoke night.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, asked him if he was serious, and he was like, oh, I'd go to it, but I'm not gonna,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
you know, I'm not gonna chair it.
Yeah.
And I said, then therein lies the problem,
yeah,
because you have a core committee, if there's new thoughts, and there were so many good ideas last time.
Yeah.
But it's not up to you guys to chair them all.
yeah.
No, yeah, that's a valid point,
Yeah.
And,
entirely.
Pierre, last time, he wanted to have it, gambling. thing,
Yeah.
And that requires contacting the
Yeah,
state,
that was a different
Yeah,
avenue altogether.
Yeah, the
so,
casino.
but, and that, you even talked about selling tickets for that, so it's a lot more than just opening up the lodge.
Yeah, these are all nice ideas, especially as we have more new community members
Oh, yeah.
come in and wanna
Cause
partake
the
in.
garden sounded wonderful.
Everything will take time though, it won't be immediate, and people will realize that it won't be, you know, catered to them, they have to create it with us, you know,
Yeah.
or co-create.
Yeah.
So, that was something I was just gonna say in other business anyway, but I did work a little bit with Serene on, you know, creating like a vision statement and a mission statement for a community garden. And I think she's kinda held up like me in a different way, she's having a little issue right now too. So I think it'll be a long-term concept, if anything, to see if there's sufficient like long-term support to establish some kind of subcommittee
Yeah,
for that effort.
yeah,
So that's how we would handle that anyway, we wouldn't burden anyone,
yeah,
you know,
cause
already
I'm not
doing
good at
everything.
plants, at
Sure,
gardens,
yeah.
you like to garden?
I do, but in Connecticut, there's a community garden in town, I know that it was a lot more involved than people realized.
Yeah,
Cause you have to have a water supply, you have to have people that go, you know, so it was a lot more
yeah,
involved than just a nice idea.
Right,
yeah,
yep,
Yeah, and one of the suggestions I heard was having it down by Edison Park, where Edison, right behind the
mailbox.
mailboxes, and now we're planning to use that area for parking. As a last,
parking and the deck.
and
patio.
I think the idea of having a raft over there, or what
Yeah.
do you wanna call it?
Patio deck,
Patio deck there is a wonderful idea, and it spreads things out a little bit.
yeah,
We have to worry about fencing too, cause there's enough deer around, they'll just decimate everybody's.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And that's
that's right.
expensive.
There's a unique part behind the bench at this side of
Deer
the lake over there,
woodchucks.
oh, sorry. There's a unique spot like that's down the hill that's kind of like barrier protected.
Yeah.
It was an idea, But that's the whole point too, is that like trying to find the right piece of land here is a little bit hard, especially knowing there's wildlife and.
Right.
So there's a lot to think
There's a
about.
lot, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean,
But
we
it's
have,
good for people to come up with ideas.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and subsequent to those ideas was like, we were talking about like farmers markets, just having people bring their vegetables to us, so that's a whole other idea that we could do either, you know, have them come set up by the beaches in a certain day, or over in the lodge space by the ballpark fields and everything. But that's something that we could really start to like, you know, a community outreach or groups is like plan a farmers market maybe once a month in the summertime.
Because somebody who has their own garden could even, I used to do that too, just
Yeah.
bring extra.
Yeah, so even Mountain Lakes gardeners could bring their
Yeah.
stuff to it too, and that, yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
that's,
Go ahead, Dee Dee.
The one in Plymouth, I mean,
Yeah.
not Plymouth, Littleton,
Yeah,
has anybody been to the
Yeah.
farmer's market?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
yeah,
They have the music and the kids and
Wow.
it's an all-day event,
yeah, something like that, you know, like.
that would be fun.
Maybe we're only 3 or 4 hours, half a day or
Right.
something here, but it would be, exactly the concept, you
Right,
know, so.
so we do have guidelines for membership, and,
Oh, right.
so we haven't sworn anybody in yet this year.
Yeah,
The responsibilities are that you need to attend, 2 meetings within 6 months, but they can be online meetings. And the second part is to participate in at least, one or two,
events,
recreation events in the last 6 months. I think it was one within 6 months, so
Okay.
it will be like 2 a year.
yeah,
And then you don't have to be a member of the rec committee to come up with ideas, but you do need to attend the meeting and give us a guideline of what things are gonna cost.
sure,
And only people that are sworn in members can vote
on the concept,
on whether the event's gonna happen or not. But like, for example, a startup for a community garden would be at least $100, maybe 200, and we don't have that much money in the fund. Some of our events make money. The one that is coming up the end of May, which is on Memorial Day, our pancake breakfast, we make about $300 on that. So that really helps out, and then the Montauk event, we help with that, but that money is not going to rec, that is going into the general fund at this point.
yeah, yes,
And we don't have the expenses for that, that comes from the
the general,
district fund.
yeah,
It doesn't come out of the rec fund,
Mhm.
but it still requires a lot of work that day and organizing and everything.
What did you do, like serve food and stuff?
It's breakfast, and we're there.
Breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah.
We
We're
get
there.
English
That's a good idea.
muffins, a big sized sausage
Mhm.
and an egg.
Yeah.
And cheese.
Karen cooked the egg and cheese. Karen did the eggs. What did you help with? And cheese, putting cheese on, everybody was doing something.
I think
So-
we're having the
I wanna do
models,
the
this
cheese.
was at
You wanna do the
I'm
cheese?
kidding.
oh, this isn't in Franklin, correct? No.
Someone was
no,
doing
no.
the English muffins, no,
This
no,
was at the race, right?
Yeah, that's
at
race.
the
Yeah.
race. The
And-
English muffins we just put in the
Yeah.
oven, right, or something?
Anna did that, boy, she buttered those little babies, they were
Who did that?
flavorful.
Hey,
Anna.
Anna?
And, oh, yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anna's not here, and Marcia Salent
Yeah.
are also
Yeah.
members.
Marcia's,
Marcia's in Georgia
she's
right
our
now.
wonderful shopper, and she also gets gift certificates that we can use for like the ice cream social, which
Oh,
comes up.
that's fantastic.
That's on the next, first one on that, it was July 4th. And, so she's away at a wedding, that's why she's not here. But, we do have to talk about, the main thing today is to have an action list for what we're doing on the 26th, which is Memorial Day. And
And that's on Monday.
that's on Memorial Day Monday. So, but anybody who wants to be sworn in, we've got our,
You can swear me in. I'll
oh,
swear.
good, good,
Yep,
Happy to
I'll
have
have to
you.
grab the paperwork in the back, I think I know what it is.
okay.
Um,
I'm willing.
You're willing to
I'll
swear
go
in too, okay, and Dee Dee, are you looking to swear into the rec committee, or you just
I
saying?
was on for 5 years.
Sworn into the what?
to this recreation committee, or to be able to vote here, or do you just wanna kinda sit, as a contributor from the outside?
Well, I'm not really interested in where the money goes and all of that. I'm here for the fun factor.
Yeah, yeah,
We all are.
And you just wanna donate your own money.
time though, maybe, time and effort.
So wherever that puts me. I mean, I have some ideas that are inexpensive.
Sure.
So I thought that if we have, if we pick different nights for the kids and get the, adults also involved, we could do kickball. You could have grandparents with the kids running for them. People who don't wanna participate, they're umpires, base judges. But to try to get people together as a community, you could have, basketball.
Yep.
Certain nights
Yes,
that
sport.
you tell the kids, okay, from 6 o'clock on and such a night, gonna have pickup games, or you could have, father-son games. Things like that to get people to know each other or each other better, but I grew up with such a, good foundation at the ballpark. There were so many things that we did every day that kept us there. And, a lot of them are, the kickball, the things like that. Softball would be nice, but then you're getting into gloves and bats and balls and
And they like wiffle ball.
Yeah, kickball is easy.
wiffle
Yeah.
ball,
Wiffle
all of that, and you can incorporate the adults with the kids too.
Yeah. So more, community, planned,
Yes.
sporting events almost with the fields and
Yes.
courts that we have, that makes sense too. Yeah,
Also, I would like to do a craft time
oh, yeah,
during the week, so it's more focused on our community rather than the busy weekends. With the kids, and just do a bunch of rock painting. I have the river with tons of rock. Things that, little scavenger hunts, things that will keep them interested, different ages. You can have the older ones helping the younger
Yeah.
ones. And just, maybe a couple of hours every week or every other week, something like that.
these are all good ideas.
Yeah.
I think you should be part of the community, or committee. So, after this meeting, I could swear in whoever wants to be
Yep.
sworn in.
Okay, great.
But I like all those ideas, and those are unique ways to invite people to utilize what we have, to engage with it more.
Right.
And so even if it starts as like one-time, basketball game, fathers and sons, like you just said, whatever it
Yeah,
is,
right.
like those
I
kind
see
of
the
concepts.
kids riding by my house and I
Yeah.
just think, okay, there's 4, and there's probably another 6 down this end,
Yeah.
let's get them all together.
Yep,
You could even do through the neighborhood bike ride,
sure,
there's just so many different things and you can incorporate what the kids would like to do too.
so we'll call it like community planned sporting events, and we'll just kind of build on that concept in the future. And I think that's a good way, good idea,
Sounds good.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and with the crafts things,
Okay,
we have Katie, who is
Yep.
she does crafts, the rock painting, she could use help with that, but
yeah, I was,
that would be something that could be done
Exactly.
at the
And then you
at
have the
beach.
girl that does the jewelry, she was selling it at the beach last year, she was like maybe 13 or so.
oh, okay.
She could do a little, okay, she's gonna come and show her crafts and,
Yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can build on all that, and no, I thought the same thing, that, some of this, could be planned with Katie and, helped out from the community from there, so it's kind of like, if we already have a rec director anyway, and there's things to do, maybe it's
Yeah.
during the times of the day, like,
Yeah.
when, Monday through Friday, when the kids are here.
One thing Katie did was she had the kids put their handprints on the rocks over
I
there,
saw
and
that.
they really enjoyed that.
Years ago, they used to have, a whiteboard here, and it would say Monday afternoon at 2,
Oh,
There
we're
you
that's,
go.
all playing
yeah, we
ping
gotta
pong.
do that again.
That's
Tuesday afternoon at 2, we're gonna give out free, popsicles, but we're gonna have a, water balloon, catch.
Mhm.
Wednesday afternoon, so, I would come down with Cora and Cooper when they were little, and we'd say, well, we don't wanna paint rocks, but we wanna throw water balloons.
Yeah.
And so we, or you can do one or you can do the other,
Right,
because they
right.
like to do everything. And, so it was like, she had a set time every day, like from 1 to 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
But it hasn't been that way the last
Right.
Yeah,
couple
okay,
of
so
years.
these are all ideas that I can kinda use like a quasi employees with the snack bar and the rec director, along with maybe some volunteer support on top to have better events running throughout the summer, just on the regular normal days.
Is it
Yeah, I love
possible,
that
do we have,
idea,
how many
the board.
whiteboards do we have? Because
If we need a new one over there, I'll figure out a concept for that, that's not I don't think that'll be a
And
hard
it'd be
thing.
nice to have, a whiteboard at the pool,
At the pool? Okay, so I'll just look into more
To write the
whiteboards.
same things, you
to
mean?
write the same thing,
Okay.
so, like if the event's gonna be at the pool, or if you're at the beach, you just say where it's gonna be, and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
like the basketball thing, we'd wanna
Yeah.
have one up there for sure, and,
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Or you could even get just chalk paint.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
You know.
Yep, we'll figure that out, we'll figure out a way to have a message board.
Enough of an overhang, yeah.
Yeah, and I know we talked about this anyway, but we'll have ping pong, a new table there at some point, and we're looking to have like a permanent stone table, kind of nicely put and nicely done over there. So that would be like a ping pong for the kids too, I'm sure we could organize more, or organize tournaments or games with that, as well as everything else we're talking about.
Has anybody heard of, knock hockey?
What's that?
You were telling me about it.
You used to, it's a board, like a frame, probably about this big. And at the end, it's cut out a hole, and in front of it is a block, it's a little cube. And with popsicle sticks and, checkers. It's hockey, it's like air hockey.
Oh, and you fling it?
Yeah,
But the boards are here for the kids, you can
Yeah.
hang them up, all you need is popsicle sticks and checkers. You can have competitions. Knocking it with your popsicle stick, or you can even use your finger, but, yeah, and it bounces around just like an air hockey, and,
Yeah.
those could be, we have a lot
part
of
of the fun would be to
carpenters
have
out
them
here.
build it themselves too, They
Right,
build-
oh,
yeah.
awesome,
Oh,
Yeah,
build your
yeah.
own board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
so that could be these are all great, someday you should come visit with me and Katie and these are all ideas we can kinda integrate right into our.
Okay.
Which is something else I didn't put on the agenda, but I did wanna mention that I'm meeting with Katie this Friday to go over at least 10+ applications for the kids here, snack bar and pool attendance. And so we're working on the hiring phase, we'll get the t-shirts ordered, and we'll be in good shape for this year.
Good.
With Katie, our rec director, and the kids again to, run the snack bar and the pool. So that's just in the works.
Okay,
So I'm gonna say, to kind of piggyback on that, people usually do better if they've been given a lot of direction. And so if we're hoping to encourage, cause if I have a job and my job is to like do A, I'll do A, but if you're telling me to do A and B, then I gotta be thinking about it. So, where we haven't had anybody do anything on a regular basis, are you gonna include that in some of your instruction? And the young kids that work here do what's asked of them, but then like you had to follow through with a checklist. And that's only fair, because people are young and they're learning jobs and stuff. But if in that checklist, they know every day from 2 to 3, they have to provide
Something.
an entertainment,
Yeah,
something, a
yeah.
game.
Oh my god.
It's been doing that the whole time,
Oh,
so
alright.
I don't know, maybe.
Is Barbara Keating on or no?
No one's tried to join, but I did email her the link
Okay.
before, yeah.
Cause I'm not saying they didn't do a good job, but I think if our expectations are high,
Yeah,
then they'll rise to our
Yeah,
expectations.
yeah. I agree.
Okay.
Okay, so, this is supposed to be an action items for the
Yeah.
26th, which is Memorial Day, what we need to get.
Yep.
We're gonna need shoppers for
Yeah,
groceries and for produce.
Memorial Day, the pancake, or, yeah, the pancake
Yes.
breakfast.
we usually just go to BJ's and we get the sausages and last year I got George is the manager at Shaw's. So one week they have the English muffins on sale for 99 cents and then they go up to $1.99. So I say to them, can we just get a whole, cause they put a limit of 2 or something.
Mm.
So I said, can we get a bunch of things, and he lets us, so. So we'll make sure we get the English muffins.
Well, we
No,
don't
no,
need the
no,
English
you're
muffins for.
blending your
Oh,
meals.
yeah, see, I am, I'm talking
Yeah.
about the bike
Yeah.
race, sorry,
Yeah,
don't put me
So
in
what
charge
is
of it.
the meal?
You're fired then.
Breakfast, when we do the fruit.
Dottie, BJ's,
What?
I think you shop around for the fruit for the best price,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then we get, so, and the butter. And Polly said she was gonna provide the syrup,
I already have it.
you
I
have
have
the
it
syrup.
from her, it's a half gallon, so we have the maple syrup. But we also get one large,
Fake
either Vermont made or log cabin syrup.
So they have sausage, pancakes,
And we
fresh,
want,
real fruit.
yeah, and we want gluten-free, so we'll get a gluten-free pancake mix this year. We haven't done that for the last 2 years because we haven't had anyone want it, but, so,
Did you offer like, chocolate chip, like something different for the
Yes.
kids?
Yeah,
You did
yeah,
offer,
yeah.
Yeah, we don't need lots, but
Right,
like
just so bad.
make their own.
okay. So we've got Hershey's, large Hershey's syrup. And,
Then you need milk and juice.
yeah. Milk and juice, and that's usually, somebody else gets that, but we usually do the BJ's a week before.
Yeah.
And that can all be done sooner.
We can pick it all up, cause,
Okay, you probably have a better list of this. The ingredients, the things that we need to buy. And we usually go over and check the cabinet, in the storage room at the, lodge, because we use the, little plastic cups for our, fruit, yeah,
But I think a lot of the supplies got used at the annual meeting, cause it was such a big
yeah,
turnout. So you might have to replenish,
yeah.
which is good.
So I volunteer to go over there with you to
okay,
go through
okay.
for the paper goods.
If I can open that door downstairs, holy moly, it's like sticks because of the moisture or
Oh.
something,
In the basement of the lodge there?
yeah,
Go on a
that
dry day,
downstairs one, huh?
go on a
Or on a
dry day.
dry day, okay.
Next week.
So,
If there's anything you want me to grab in preparation for that, the 26th, I can donate or grab something.
Yeah,
Did we set up the night before, or is it being used? Cause I know we get there relatively early and it doesn't take any time to set it up.
yeah, Monday morning.
Yeah.
I think since we're getting so early, I think Sunday, if anybody could come, doesn't take that many of us to set it up,
As long
so.
as it's not rented.
No, it's only, yeah, true, if it's not rented. Can you
Yes.
check the calendar for the 25th?
On the 25th, I mean, it would be normally rented in the
The
mornings.
church, yeah.
Yeah, but by the evenings or the
Yeah.
afternoons, normally not, but I could check, just to make sure there's nothing else rented
Yeah.
that day.
and
So-
yeah,
A couple of us could go over and set it up, I'd bring the boys over and,
You guys can text or call me if you need a hand.
Yeah,
I can
okay.
hit it
so
go.
set up on Sunday and,
and are we gonna,
cut fruit,
use, yeah, we'll cut up fruit, but, are we gonna use tablecloths? What color do we wanna go with?
Springy.
Springy?
yellow and green or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Pancake color.
Yeah.
Okay, so plastic tablecloths,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one thing we always end up having to buy.
Yeah. do have to do that again. So the setup, cutting of fruit. So who's gonna purchase the fruit?
I'll do that, yeah. Whoever goes shopping, usually Marcia, I gave up my BJ's card, cause they wanted to charge me $65.
I have one,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
want to go with
Yeah.
it, I have one.
You
so-
have what, BJ's card?
Mhm.
So,
When did they do that?
I split it with somebody, so it's not.
Oh, do you? Yeah, well, mine, I don't know, expired like
Yeah.
February,
Oh,
so they would have charged your credit card
Yeah, automatically.
automatically, but I only paid 20 for it, or 25.
Hmm.
And so then they wanna charge me 65, I said no.
oh, my
But-
God.
Anyways, I don't shop that much over there, so we usually just do a big thing for here. And how many sausages? We want the link sausages.
okay, we did like 144, but we said that we wanted more.
Yeah.
I
think
thought we
did
had a
want more.
package left over at the end.
It's always better to have one left over.
I thought we had
Yeah.
one.
Are you thinking the bike race?
No,
Yeah.
no, the links.
Okay, so Jones Link Brown and Surf Sausage, 300.
300, yeah, that
300.
sounds more like it. Like, if you have 100 people, you give them 3 sausages each.
And I think the package was the 251, or no, 25,
25 in a box.
25 pound packages or something. 25 1 pound packages.
Oh.
But anyway, it would be sausage, 300 links. I think the year before it was like 144 and we ran out,
Mhm.
so,
When you get 2 pancakes, you want more than 1 sausage.
Yes.
okay, we're getting,
Where do you get the mix? Do you get the
Um,
pancake mix there too, or?
At BJ's, yeah. And do you think they have the gluten-free at there, or, oh no, she told us to go to King Arthur to get the King Arthur kind
but we don't, they sell gluten-free pancake mix right
at BJ,
at
Shaw's.
Shaw's or
Because I don't think you're gonna need a huge thing.
Sam's Club.
Right.
Pretty.
Sam's Club, I mean, not Sam's Club,
I can
Walmart.
pick that, I
Walmart.
can pick that up.
What store?
We go to Shores usually,
Yeah.
that's where we get most of stuff for him, so I would imagine I can find it there.
Yeah,
Just don't know like how.
yeah, well, if we just keep it all together, then that way, for your expenses, we don't have to give them, I mean, you're welcome to come shopping with us if you want, but I don't know, I'm just thinking if 6 of us shop, then that's all the more
Well,
expensive.
yeah, we're not
thing.
asking for a donation for this, we'll pay for this out of our
Yeah.
rack. So
Yeah.
if someone swipes one card, fills out the paperwork, we'll pay them back
Maybe easier,
from the
yeah.
rec account, yeah.
so then we had 300 butter pads.
You got that from the senior center.
Yeah,
Are you gonna ask them?
I will,
Okay.
unless you want to. Do you still have a good, contact over there, or not?
Me?
Yeah?
I don't even go there.
Alright, I'll ask Lisa.
Oh, yeah, she gave it to us last time.
She didn't charge us?
Oh, she did charge us,
Oh,
but
alright.
she, she did give it to us.
Okay, I'll ask.
Cause the individual ones are nice.
But, we have to give her a little notice, so,
Yeah.
because I don't know how she orders her supplies.
Ask Lisa for, how many do we want?
300 butter pads.
Okay.
Coffee,
When do you go shopping, so I can make sure I'm around, if you need my BJ's card. I'll be here the weekend before, we head back and forth from Connecticut, so,
Oh.
but I'll be here the Saturday before
Yeah,
Memorial Day, so
okay.
just let me know.
We have to get coffee, is that what you said?
Yeah, coffee and tea.
I know we have plenty of tea bags over there,
Oh, we do?
and we have hot cocoa, we used some hot cocoa the other day, what were we over there for?
Oh, the trail cleanup?
Yes,
Yeah.
we used it, yeah,
Trail cleanup.
yeah, I like that new, coffee, teapot that she bought.
Yeah,
It
it's very
heats-
nice.
Heats up really fast,
Really fast.
yeah,
Yeah, we used it a lot for
Yeah.
the,
Yeah,
Winterfest.
right.
yeah,
And they have coffee cups with lids, so we'll check on that, and we purchased 200 of them.
yeah,
You don't need coffee cups with lids for the,
not for pancake breakfast. For the,
yeah.
for the
that's
other
what
thing
you
we
need,
did, cause
coffee
people were
cups.
leaving the building.
Yeah.
We had
Okay,
2 gallons of orange juice, 2 gallons of milk, and then, it says on here, 2 eggs for gluten-free pancake mix.
That's cute. I'll get the milk and the
Okay.
juice, and we just go with orange juice, right?
Yes.
We're not gonna go orange and apple and all that
No.
stuff. Okay, I'll pick that up the morning of, or on the night before. I'll
does
put it in your
anybody wanna
refrigerator,
plan to go
Dottie.
shopping on the 23rd, that's a Friday? If you wanna come,
I can go, Marshall will go,
Marcia likes to go,
I'm sure she's around.
so I'll just put BJ's on here, so I'll know.
Dottie, if I'm up, I'll go with you.
Oh, hello Barb, we were wondering if you were on there,
She joined.
Yeah.
me.
If I'm up in time.
okay.
Yeah, let me- if you need my card to go.
Okay, thank you. So we'll plan on the 23rd and then, you know, we'll see what else they have. If, Shaw's has,
Priscilla.
if Shaw's has the fruit on sale or just look around, Hannaford's, whatever. And there is a credit card from here that we can take, or else, like I said, get stuff and then put in your expenses, so, yeah, you don't, nobody needs to volunteer. There'll be plenty of time for volunteering,
Donate,
Yep,
huh,
to donate.
to donate, yeah.
Okay, so, we also, I think, we probably have to get some sterno.
Well, we have plenty,
There is plenty.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, we do.
so that's another thing to check on then. And the aluminum
The
pans.
pans, yeah, I don't know how many's over there, but there's some over there for sure. Because I think we used 2 small ones. Thing, so we only had like 4 pans of stuff, right?
Yeah, the
You remember?
sausages and the pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's enough, so if we need to get some, it won't be too much to buy.
who's cooking the pancakes and sausage, do we have that planned? I can do one of them, I think last year Mark did the sausages, but if he's.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
plenty.
Mark does the sausages.
As long as he's okay
He's
with
plenty,
it.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, Ed does the
Ed makes the
pancakes.
coffee.
Ed does the
Oh, Ed does the
pancakes.
pancakes.
Ed does the pancakes?
Yeah,
And he
and the
makes-
coffee,
And the coffee.
Okay,
pancakes and the coffee.
Yeah, so we'll
so
put you somewhere.
Clean up.
Well,
last year I just stayed out of the way.
depends on your leg.
Sure, that's true
Yeah.
too, but
Yeah,
last
you
year I
can't
just
be
stayed out of the
standing
way
on it
because
too
everyone
long.
was, you know.
So,
had
and it
everything
says
going.
down here that we purchased 3 large boxes of the, add water only pancake mix.
Okay. Does the gluten-free add water or eggs or
Trying to think what we have at home, I think it's just add water,
add water? I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
and we usually buy the Bob's Red Mill, but we've used other ones too, and
Yeah.
they're all good.
I think it was, Polly mentioned the King Arthur one, that's
Uh-huh.
just in my
Yeah,
head that I
yeah.
remember.
The, okay, so, shopping, they got, at BJ's, Marcia, Karen, R, Dottie, and Priscilla,
Okay,
okay? And, 200 packages of sugar, but we'll check and see how much sugar we have.
I think we have plenty of sugar, we don't need more sugar. In fact, I did buy some fresh sugar last time, because that stuff sits around forever, cause you don't use it.
Yeah.
For the fruit salad, you can refresh my memory on this. It says 1 watermelon, 3 pineapple, 2 cantaloupe, 1 pound strawberries, 2 pound seedless grapes, and 2 blueberries. Does that sound right?
Sounds good.
Okay. So, and that is purchased before.
Yeah, anytime that, either that Friday, Saturday, whatever. I'll tell you that, so.
And do you just get that
If we
from?
get it at BJ's, then we'll get it there, but sometimes, you know, we don't wanna get it too soon,
Right.
Yeah,
so,
Go look at the ads and see if
yeah.
sometimes Shaw's has a good sale on that stuff
Yep.
too.
do you want that written down with a list?
Yeah, I'll take a picture of that paper you have. I'll make a copy of it.
And are we buying decaf coffee or not? And for the,
Nope.
could be throwing it out.
It's gonna be morning, they don't need
Yeah.
We've
decaf.
been
Yeah, you
throwing,
end up throwing it out.
we've been throwing it
Yeah, we
out.
threw it out, yeah.
Yeah, just the one.
And we have 2 coffee pots at this point, I think,
Mm.
cause one of them leaked, I think, so,
So did you get rid of the one that leaked?
yeah.
Did we have 3 before?
No, we replaced one,
Oh, do
yeah.
we need more?
No.
I don't
Okay,
think so,
alright.
no. Cause one of them was a big one, 30 cups maybe or something.
And we're not gonna worry about getting the, things for the ice cream social yet.
Right.
We just do dishes of ice cream now and not cones, so,
Good.
yeah.
Yeah,
And, maybe Marcia can get, some free ice cream for us.
Oh, yeah, she'll go over there and see. Usually they do. You know, we
Yeah,
never
I
had
don't-
them say no.
I think around July 4th, they might be busy, she gave us the end of the year, last year. So we might have to purchase our own for,
Oh,
you
okay.
know.
Sometimes you can write a letter to Shaw's and get a coupon, you know, as a community in what we're doing.
Yeah,
And Walmart does that too.
yeah.
The thing is, we're not a 501c3,
Okay,
so I don't know if we can do that. We
okay.
could just go ask them, but as far as writing a letter, I don't know. I think Marcia has,
Marcia,
They-
yes,
yeah,
They require a letter, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
okay, as long as we don't have to be a nonprofit.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, good,
okay. And,
so I'll ask Marcia to write the letter.
and the breakfast starts at 8 o'clock, so we're asking everybody to be there half an hour before, a good half hour before. And the cutting of the fruit, we do that at Dottie's, and that was, in the past, it's been like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, is that right?
The night before,
Yes, and then we just put it in, did we put,
Ziploc bags and
in Ziploc bags,
my big Tupperware thing.
yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then we usually make up one group of it, like half,
Yep.
and then if we need the second half,
We added.
we don't wanna mix it all together and get it mushy.
Yep.
So, but it turned out really nice.
During COVID, we did fruit cups.
Oh.
Those things were nasty.
We gave
Oh,
them
we
out.
couldn't even give them
They
away.
couldn't.
Oh, they-
Prepackaged ones?
Yeah,
them,
them
oh, the
away.
what?
Yeah.
Prepackaged
Yeah.
ones?
As we brought them to the beach, you know, and offered them, you know,
Yeah.
would you like to be? They're like,
Yeah.
no, we get those at school, they're
Yeah.
terrible.
The only kids I saw, when they would open it up and just pour it
Yeah,
like that.
drink it.
If they could do that
Yeah.
and be sloppy about it.
And they liked it.
Yeah,
I think we ended up giving them out at trunk or treat.
At Trump, we
You
did.
have to have one of these.
Yeah. Take a fruit.
Give it to your parents if you don't
They
want
were
it.
terrible, but you know, we didn't wanna touch them, we didn't, you know, we wanted to.
Yeah, I
make
think we had
everything, so-
300 of them or
Oh,
something.
it was awful.
Crazy.
Yep.
Memories.
Oh, COVID,
Yeah, alright,
Okay, that,
so that's our big thing. One
Yeah.
thing I was gonna say, when you talked about karaoke, for, we have an adult social set up sometime on your calendar.
Oh,
Yeah,
blend the
in
karaoke
October.
with that,
Yes, cause,
that would be like the entertainment.
yes,
I'm not
Heather,
doing it, but I'll come smile.
Heather has a karaoke machine.
Yeah,
But a lot of the like 40 and under love karaoke.
so that would be,
I
a
like to sing.
yeah,
All
but
the
that
time.
would be a nice
You
thing
like
to
to sing,
add
yeah.
into it.
Group karaoke.
Yeah, if a few of us got up there and
told
sang
you.
Pretty Woman or something, you know? Or I Feel Like a Woman, you know, that song.
Linda and I were two turtle doves and we sang it
Barb, you
over and
wanna
over
sing?
again,
yes,
remember?
we did.
Yeah, alright, so
Oh, that's
that's,
nice.
that's a thought about that one, but otherwise,
But-
really, that's all we have to, worry about right now is the pancake breakfast.
Can I just throw one thing out?
Go ahead.
So, there was some conversation about the yard sale, and Polly said she was discouraged, I think, about the last one, and the, amount of people that joined in or didn't join in. So, someone had talked about having it over at the lodge, and having it just one day for a certain amount of hours. And I would be interested in that if I could get somebody to work on it with me. And say if, somebody wanted to do it, but they didn't have a table, we could rent them a table for $10, you know, for the inconvenience of having to lug it over. But otherwise, you come up and maybe even put out a tarp and you have a space and you have a space. And do it just for a limited number of hours, so say on a Saturday of Memorial Day, no, Columbus Day weekend.
Okay, yeah.
So, cause I think if we lose it completely, it'll be gone,
Yeah,
and,
There
see
weren't
if,
many, I went last year.
there weren't many, no.
Do you think
And-
it's timing? Cause I always wondered that, people, I know I'm like kind of tag sailed out by the end of October.
That was something that came up last meeting, changing the date.
Yeah,
Oh,
That was,
to make it.
earlier in the year, cause people
Like-
are like itching to get out, and then if it's when
Yeah.
people are still here visiting,
yeah,
you know, they're opening up their houses and looking for furniture and all that, I
Because-
think timing would be a
You
huge.
could do
make it-
farmer's market yard sale.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
okay.
what month are you thinking would be
Just
better?
not end of October.
Well,
It
do
could
you think
even
it'd be better like pre-summer when people are starting to come up here, you know, so that gets like grab stuff for this year?
I just think end of October, I know I'm like, the
Yeah.
last thing I wanna do is look at more
Yeah,
tax.
tell them.
Yeah, okay.
Cause then you go, I mean, we
Yeah,
go on the
have it in
weekends,
one spot,
even if
that's
it's
a great
like
idea.
August, you
Yeah,
know,
maybe in
September.
August or something,
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe before the kids even go back to school, I don't know. Cause we've gone in the past, and it's been like, we've seen a lot of people, and then last year there was nobody.
Nobody,
Mm.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
does get discouraging, cause she made up a beautiful
Well,
map,
everybody puts their stuff out
Yeah.
and they just sit
It's a
there.
lot of work.
It's a
for
lot of work.
Little.
Yeah.
and I know.
I got some free things, cause nobody was going.
I know, yeah.
I know that, that it's a nice idea that you do it at your own home, you don't have to lug everything away.
Yes.
But like, some people are so remote that they
True.
just got no traffic.
I like both ideas, actually. Maybe give them an option, they could do either at their house or rent a table at the lodge.
Yeah, but at the lodge, you'd have to come that day and set up, and you'd
Right.
have to take all your stuff that day and leave.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, cause we don't have a dumpster to start
No,
getting
we
rid of
can't,
people's
you
stuff that
take
didn't
what you
sell.
bring, yeah. you
Yeah,
carry it
take what
back.
you bring,
Yeah.
yeah.
and we do have a social that weekend on that Saturday night.
In,
Yeah,
It's
at the
October.
lodge.
Yeah.
it's July or
October.
August?
In October, I'd
Okay,
say
not
change
October.
the.
Oh, no,
No, but if we go earlier.
they're talking
Yeah,
So
earlier.
do you have
Earlier.
something going on in
Go
August?
early, yeah.
September's pretty, well, August would have more people maybe
Yeah.
because before kids go back.
You wanna do it after the evening on the lake, like
Yeah, I-
that, the 9th,
It could be,
Or even just between that
or
and
the
30th.
6th, cause we're talking about, well, the 30th we do the fireworks.
Right, so you've got like the 16th and the 23rd.
Do you wanna do it before the fireworks?
I don't know if I do it the same day.
Yeah.
No, I don't
We
think so.
usually do ice cream before the
Yeah,
fireworks.
before the
Yeah.
fireworks
So you've got like the 16th or the 23rd.
of August.
But that's when
August, yeah.
that's our Summerfest.
Bouncy house one, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Summerfest is, okay.
16 or 23,
Oh, that's
so-
right, so maybe whatever day it's not.
Yeah,
The
okay,
opposite one, yeah,
okay,
Okay,
And you,
so we'll talk about it more in June,
okay,
but, cause you'll have a date.
okay, yeah,
And then we can set it up.
yeah,
and then if you wanna have the lodge for that day, for, let's say it's gonna rain or something, and we wanted to open the lodge,
yeah,
just the bottoms.
yeah, the
Yeah,
bottom
the
area would be
bottom
alright,
area.
yeah,
No, I don't think it'd be big enough, I
You
think
don't
if it
think so?
rains, it's
Oh.
scrapped.
okay,
What do you think?
Well, if you have it at your house, they pretty much scrap it, don't they?
Yeah.
Unless they have a garage.
Yeah.
But not many people do.
yeah,
They have a rain date, they just have a rain date.
yeah. I mean, maybe we would make it the following day, so Saturday or Sunday.
And hope it doesn't rain both days.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Alright, we'll follow up
Okay.
on that
We'll
next
talk
meeting.
about that, good,
Yeah.
thank you.
okay. What else?
So, any other new business?
Did the tennis courts get done?
They started to clean them and prepare, and now it's just weather dependent in the next couple
Weather
weeks to get it.
Next
Right.
week, it's gonna be gorgeous.
Yeah, so
Okay.
most likely it'll happen next week then, and
One will be pickleball, one will be
I
tennis,
think there's 2 pickleball and 1 tennis, the way it's
Yeah.
gonna be laid out.
nice.
I thought, maybe, don't quote me on that now, but I thought that's what was happening, 2 and 1. Something
Are
like
we
that.
gonna buy a real pickleball net, or we're just gonna use the little one that's over
I
there?
think we're gonna actually have official things.
Yeah, okay,
I think he was just waiting to install any netting once we have do it one time, you know,
Yeah,
when we have a
okay.
fresh cord on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do we buy any,
Oh, good.
toys for up at the pool,
Toys.
you know?
I did buy some at the end of last year. So we have some downstairs, like those little things you throw into the water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They say-
we have some of
okay.
that.
Just one thing I guess we could follow up on is last time we were talking about, you know, the tennis courts and unlocking it and everything, and, you know, just to follow up with the conversation at 2 commissioner meetings ago now. We decided to scrap that idea and just communicate better that these keys can be accessible anytime, and for a $5 deposit, they can keep them, you know?
Yeah.
So, anyone who's a community member here can get a key and then access that court 24/7 themselves. So rather than leaving it exposed, especially with a new $20,000 surface.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's where we left that. It was a good idea,
Makes
but then
sense, yeah.
the communication cleared things up even better, I think.
Absolutely, that was, very informative,
Yeah,
and, were you gonna put like a sign over there?
yeah, that's a great idea. That's a good point. Like,
You know,
hey, if
keys
you want
available.
keys available to Mountain Lakes members at the district office.
Are you changing the lock?
No, we're not
No.
changing anything at all.
Okay,
Yeah, that was the whole thing was.
But Barbara, because the main office is closed so much, the keys will be downstairs, you know,
yeah,
Is that
well, I already have a key, that's why I was asking for those who
Yeah.
already have.
Yeah,
keys.
so we're just gonna communicate that
That's good.
system better. Yeah, the people that wanna keep a key for themselves can just.
Did you, Barb,
Okay.
did you, Barb, remember you had talked about buying something for, the pickle balls to collect them with?
You know, it's funny, where I go in Florida, they made a, it looks like an old dryer vent, and they attached it to the fence, and they made it curve and go up like a J, and so you can fill it up with the balls
Yeah,
when you're done playing, but you know, and it works perfectly, and it's cheap, and I don't know,
do you have a
I don't
photo
know
of
if you
that,
can,
Louise?
excuse
I'm
me?
sure if I Google, I was asking if you had a photo of that, but if not, I'm sure I could Google the concept.
So when
Yeah.
people play tennis, they bring their own balls.
Yeah,
When
that's
they
true,
play pickleball, they don't bring their own balls?
I suppose they could, but we do supply a few, we don't supply a lot, right? Dottie, we have ice,
We had
Yeah.
bought 12 at last year,
yeah,
and we had
but they
some
only
cats.
last so long,
At this point.
like tennis.
They're, are they in that chest, the wooden chest?
No, they're in a Tupperware type of thing.
Barbara,
Mm.
do pickleball paddles have to be replaced after a certain time?
No, unless they get too wet, but, I don't know how we're gonna store those unless you still have the, container. But a lot of people have their own pickleball paddle,
Yeah,
who
Yeah,
are serious.
as far as picking out the date when you wanna have, pickleball lesson, did you wanna do that again this year or not?
Oh, sure, but
But
we can do that.
Let's get that done when you get up here, picking out, cause
Yeah,
last year was Saturday morning, right?
it was what?
Saturday morning for pickleball lesson?
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good day or not, a Saturday or a Sunday, because most people,
Yeah,
I don't know, they're not always here during the week. So that's why I was thinking that.
and,
Um,
last meeting, Polly mentioned the water aerobics. And
Yes,
they wanted to do it three days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
okay.
So,
If
and
she's
that's
up for it. I'm only
yeah,
kidding.
yeah. I'll try to make it to that this year, you know. And that would be starting at 10 o'clock in the morning from 10 to 11 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But,
Yeah,
and that wouldn't
yeah.
start until after the pool opens officially, which is, June 21st or 20th, 20 or 21st.
June 21st, yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Looking
yeah,
forward to it.
People have asked to, at the commissioners meeting, they asked the possibility of opening up the pool earlier.
Hmm,
So that's under consideration. But, it depends, they have to talk to John about, you know, cause he's the one who has to do the maintenance and everything on it.
yeah,
Um,
okay.
What were you thinking, Eric?
hang on, what were we just, pool, someone came up to me and suggested maybe they knew someone that could do swim lessons, and so I'm trying to reach out to that and source them. They're not from within Mountain Lakes, they're just in Bath.
Yeah,
And I said basically preliminarily, yes, I'd love to explore that, so I'm chasing after that idea since we haven't really had that in a while.
right.
And I don't know everyone up here, but a friend of a friend was kind of recommending it. And so I just sent a text just to follow up on that now, so maybe by next month.
and they have,
Before
they
we
have their
open.
WSI or
I don't know anything yet.
lifeguard.
Yeah, I don't know anything, it was kind of like, someone came up to me and said, hey, do you think someone could do pool lessons there? I said, absolutely, so, you know. it's
Pool
pretty-
lessons or,
they're
swim
lake
lessons.
lessons,
Charge
swim
fee?
lessons at the lake.
Either or. Oh, is it at the lake?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, let me
Well-
just find out if this person's interested in doing the swim lessons. 'cause it's
yeah,
been a
if
while.
they're-
Are they charging a fee for this?
Of course, they would be charging, they would charge a fee and the parents would be paying the fee.
Yeah, I
Okay,
imagine,
just asking.
whatever way we were doing it in the past, I would just duplicate it that way. But just to have the amenity of service, we just need someone who is, willing to do it. So by next meeting, I'll follow up and see if that person's a real, solution for this, a real possibility or not. But I'm looking into it at least, and so if anyone else knows anyone too, we could.
And that wouldn't have to start until July, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, alright, great, yeah, so we have a little time.
Okay. Anybody got any other thoughts? We like all your ideas about, I even like the neighborhood bike ride,
Yeah,
you know, that sounds like a
yeah,
parade or something.
yeah.
I got a bunch of flags.
Oh, we do too.
You could do a 4th of July.
There you
Yeah,
go.
bike,
Kids right here on
Yeah.
the causeway.
Yeah,
Decorate the
their
bikes and.
bikes and with the, cards with the
Oh,
clothespins.
yeah.
Since we're talking about that in 4th of July, I think next year being the 250th anniversary of the United States, I do think we should have more American flags around
Oh,
that place.
okay,
I think
yeah.
we should think about that now for next year, I mean, it'd be a small spend, but just really like
it
celebrate.
hot.
Yeah, like next summer, it could just be a lot more like red, white and blue,
Get them
just
on
at the whole.
clearance after this year.
Yeah.
What's that?
Get them on clearance after this year.
Yeah,
Never flotilla.
yeah.
Fourth of July
I've done that with
flotilla.
my friends here. There was one 4th of July where there was at least 4 different groups of houses that we all floated
Yeah.
on the lake together, like the whole, that was my first
Yeah.
summer up here,
That's
actually.
funny.
Yeah,
That's great.
But during COVID, up our way, we had a parade. Wasn't there a bit
Oh,
of a
sure,
parade?
yeah,
And you know, you use your gator, your 4-wheelers or whatever, and your
Yeah.
little trailer or lawn tractor.
Yeah.
and
cause
You don't
they
have a
get
little-
all excited
Oh, yeah,
decorating it.
decorate
Yeah.
and have water balloons.
We could do
and throw
something like
candy.
that,
yeah, why don't we plan that?
Yeah, especially, I don't know if that's for this year, or for next year, but, I mean, if we're a year away and we're thinking about like, what's that?
We could have
Go cat.
the bike section, the motorized section goes last,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
pet section in the
Oh, there
middle.
we go.
yeah,
So,
that's great.
so we'll see everybody on the 26th.
Sure,
Yes.
Shopping and checking things out will happen before then. Our next rec meeting is, July 2nd at 4 o'clock in the afternoon
June.
here.
June 2nd, right?
June,
We don't have-
July?
The 2nd,
How come we don't
I
have a
did that
June meeting?
again. You absolutely have
Yeah,
June
I-
4th,
June
June 4th, yeah. So, and I'm not gonna be here, for
okay,
June 4th meeting at 4.
okay.
Let's see if I can read your writing.
Oh,
PJ
H,
H
MAH.
MAA.
So with that,
Okay.
we'll make a motion to adjourn, is that what you're
Yeah.
thinking, Linda?
Second.
Yeah,
Third.
5:05.
so, all in favor?
Aye.
I don't know where you-
Hey, Barbara.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Barb, see you soon.
See you soon.